Karim, you're prolific, versatile, and constantly active in basically all the fields of design. What do you enjoy most? Is that interior design, industrial, furniture? You're doing everything.
You know, I see every project I have as just a kind of interesting challenge. So I think a lot of times it's not really the typology of what I'm doing, but more about whether the challenge is, how can I say, going to reap some sort of innovative results, and or if I have a really good client, you know. So I mean, it could be a watch, or it could be, for example, I'm making now 200 homes for the poor in Riga, Latvia. Fantastic, because the client is so open-minded and wants to make something quite radical. So if you have that opportunity, you know, if I work for an Italian furniture company, but they want to make something very new or innovative, then it's a great project. So it really doesn't really matter. My interest, though, is design for me is design, and design touches every aspect of our kind of human experience. So as long as I'm kind of working in the physical realm, because I don't really do much in the virtual realm, I don't really design websites. I do a little bit of branding and things, but not websites. But I'm interested in making the physical world just a more interesting place.
Your design is very recognizable, amongst other things, by fluorescent colors and tones. Is there any particular reason for focusing on these? Is it a matter of personal preference, or are you trying to trigger some emotions and attention?
It is personal preference, and it is triggering emotions.
Okay, yeah.
And it is, in a way, sometimes provoking and trying to make people think of it in a different way. But I also have just a very, very, like, kind of personal, obsessive, emotional attraction to strong and vibrant kind of fluorescent colors. I've always have, and I don't know where it came from. Maybe it came from when I was, 9 months old or something. There's something there. But in general, in my work, I use all color, and I even use no color. And even the project I showed today that I launched, the Bow Concept, it's it's birch wood. It's very simple with chrome. So and I like generally I like to do a lot of white objects in my space and things, because they kind of balance out the strong colors. But I will say one thing: color is just so emotional and so beautiful. And it's like, even I'm just like noticing with your hint of your leggings, how strong. Like, I love that. To me, and it makes me feel a bit alive. And for me, it's like nothing better in this world than every day I have some sort of like moment, almost like what they call a phenomenological moment, where a phenomenon where all of a sudden I feel, wow, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm living, and I love being stimulated that way. And and the reality is, look, if you look out the street right now, most of the world is very gray. It's very monochromatic, and sometimes, and when the weather is bad, it even looks kind of depressing. And then when you see a hit of color, it just makes you feel that much better.
At yesterday's lecture, you introduced us to the perception that future is our world in 4D, 4 dimension. And was that story a sort of a hint into your future projects?
Okay. Well, I have right now in the office, I got about 63 projects. So I'm quite busy. So it's everything from, let's say, for a very famous brand, but I won't mention it, a new bottle for them, all the way over to some very interesting Bauhaus boutique hotel in Tel Aviv, to doing I've got a 36-story skyscraper I'm making in Manhattan, which I can't believe I'm doing. I'm thrilled, and it's down right near the World Trade Center. So these are all really, really diverse projects. At the same time, I'm working on a pen, I'm working on a wallet, I'm working on a cover for an iPod, I'm working on wedding rings to get married in outer space. So some pretty unusual, lots of furniture, some new lighting, because the Milan Fair is coming up and it's Zero Luce this year. So there's it's all about lighting. So and they're all, every one of them, I'm probably trying to do the same thing that I do with all my work. One is to contribute something that's a little bit original. Two, to try to just make something a little bit better. Because I'm such a believer that we as human beings are having better and better lives, and we're used to now things performing very well, adding more to our lives. I think to the point where we're getting so used to this that we're going to start kind of almost relinquishing or throwing out things that don't have any meaning or not bringing something more to us. So for me, it's very important, this notion of contribution. Am I adding something or not? So that's probably where all those projects, I'm dealing with the same issue with every one of them.
One simple question. Why pink?
Why pink?
Yes.
I'm not wearing any pink today, am I? Oh, I got a little pink on my ring. Pink is very emotional. It's positive, very positive. It makes people happy and smile. It's full of energy. It's an energetic color, you know. It's on the spectrum. It's like the highest energy, and it makes me feel happy. It makes me feel, I don't know how to explain it. It makes me deal. It's like a contrast for me to the banalities of everyday life, and everyday life is a lot of banalities. And lastly, what I like about it, it's provocative, and it's probably the only color that is controversial in a way.
Great, thanks.